and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows. And everybody's sick of it, especially in the conservative space, that blacks have had it easy.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Shalor back again with another video. Hey, we got an interesting clip, or a few clips, with Jason Whitlock and Nick Fuentes. The two have been going back and forth on their platforms. Jason Whitlock is saying basically that Nick Fuentes is somewhat of a psyop used by the government because of his stance, how he's perceiving or taking the Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony situation. Nick Fuentes, of course, if you listen to him at all, he's very extreme on topics like this, especially about race. But Jason Whitlock likes to take a deeper approach to study the why, the how, and you know, the detailed messaging on how things got to where they are. So two opposing views, kind of saying the same thing, but Nick is saying things are more genetic, rather than what Jason is saying, things are more cultural. And you're going to see in these clips that the two are going to bump heads. But that's enough of me. I'll let the clips play out. Start out with Jason Whitlock, and then we'll end it with Nick Fuentes. Y'all get at me in the comment section below. Y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll holler at y'all on another one. Peace.
And this is where I get sideways with Nick Fuentes. He's pretending to be a Christian. He's pretending to be a Christ is King person, and he's not. Because anybody that's a Christian would be pointing to Christ and not race. And I'm talking about as it relates, because he's trying, apparently, and look, I've listened to people for several years criticize Nick Fuentes. I had never looked deeply into Nick Fuentes. I've seen some of his tweets. I hear about this Grapers movement, but didn't know much about it. Well, now he's on my radar. He has come directly at me. He did not by name, but in my view, he's talking about me, and everybody knows he's talking about me. And so I gave him a response that I think is factually true. As I've been telling you all about this Austin Metcalf, Carmelo Anthony, and I'm talking about the aftermath. I'm not talking about the actual murder. I'm not talking about Carmelo Anthony stabbing this kid for no justifiable reason. I'm talking about the aftermath. The aftermath of Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf is a psyop. The globalists that want to use this situation to stir up more racial division and more chaos, and in my view, provoke a black-white conflict. They feel like Carmelo Anthony is the new George Floyd, and that Austin Metcalf is the new Derek Chauvin. And so just like George Floyd overdosed on fentanyl, but the George Floyd worshipers like, oh, he wouldn't have died if Derek Chauvin hadn't kneeled on his neck. No, the man died of a drug overdose. He died of his own stupidity. He died of his own resistance to police. But no, it was caused by Derek Chauvin. This is what they're doing with Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. They're arguing, no, if Austin Metcalf hadn't bullied Carmelo Anthony would have never stabbed him in the heart. And this bullied thing has been pulled straight out of people's rear end, right out of thin air. There's no proof of that. There's rumors, there's gossip, but there's no proof of it.
He says, quote, "You're every bit as godless and stupid as your critics say. You're Ray Epps 2.0. pointing foolish believers into a building that will burn them down for eternity. Many of the people captured by the wickedness of black culture can claim ignorance. You know exactly what you're doing, demon. People always say that to me. I don't know what the fuck they mean by that. I've heard that from Jeremy Boring. I've heard that from this ignoramus. People say, he knows what he's doing. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. Nobody can ever tell me exactly what that is, by the way. What exactly am I doing? Please enlighten us, Tubby. Please tell me. Jeremy Boring and Jason Whitlock, two fucking crybabies. And that's the grand irony. Jason Whitlock was bitching because Jeremy Boring lashed out at him. Jason Whitlock had a disagreement with Jeremy Boring at Daily Wire over Israel or something that they said, I think about Derek Chauvin, I think it was. And Jeremy Boring lashed out and Jason Whitlock said, oh my gosh, why are you lashing out at me? They're two crybabies. With Daily Wire, if you attack the Jews, they bitch and seethe and say, you know what you're doing, you're evil, this. And Jason Whitlock, an ethnic narcissist black man, another crybaby black male, you say something uncomfortable and honest about black people, and it's the same thing. You know what you're doing, you're a demon. Whatever that means in his fatso head. Hey, fathead, please explain to us what that means. Enlighten us, genius. Enlighten us, basketball commentator. Please tell us, what am I doing? I wonder, let's compare the lexicon rating of our shows. Want to try it? If I'm a stupid demon, let's compare the lexicon levels of our shows. Want to try it? Let's see who the dummy is. He says, the enemy is paying people on social media to promote racial division and conflict. Please, who's paying me? Tell me. Who's paying me to not have a bank account, not have a payment processor? You're employed by the Blaze. Glenn Beck's net worth is $250 million. What's your contract? Please tell me. I've never been paid by anybody. I get donations. I get donations on the one platform that hasn't banned me. I'm banned from processing credit cards. I'm banned from having a bank account. Even so-called high-risk processors made for conservatives, banks. I've never had a contract in my life. You have it easy. You get paid at the end of the week. I run a business. I have to actually deal with risk. I've been blacklisted from financial services. You know nothing about what that is like. Don't even tell me about money when you're getting a payday. Don't you dare talk to me about that when you're getting a paycheck. And by the way, you are a token. Hey, Jason, you're a token. You are in conservative media as a black guy that can confer upon white people the dignity of not being called a racist for having their views. That's why you get paid. And that's why I don't, because I didn't have the privilege of being born black. I was born white, so there's a limit on what I can say. There's a limit on what I can say without being penalized in the so-called free marketplace of ideas. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows. And everybody's sick of it, especially in the conservative space, that blacks have had it easy. It is, and I don't doubt that he's a sincere person. I'm sure he's a sincere person. I'm sure he's genuine. But you are playing by a different set of rules, pal. You have training wheels on. You think you've earned it? Everything you have, take a look around at your studio, your contract, your employees. If you said the stuff that you said as a white person, your ass would be fucking gone. And everybody knows that. You're on Blaze hosting E. Michael Jones talking about the Jews. It's a good fucking thing you're black, because if you weren't, you would have been fired like Elijah Schaffer. You would have been fired like every other white person. Everybody knows that. Take a good look at everything around you, because you did not compete to get that. You got it because people feel sorry. People don't want to be called racist. They feel sorry. They need a black person to give them credibility. And if you can't see that, then you're just as ignorant as BLM. If you can't see that, if you can't be honest with yourself about that, you're just as ignorant as the marchers. As a matter of fact, you are as ignorant as the marchers. Just another ignorant crybaby. And you know what? I have no hatred. I really don't. I'm a little bit frustrated with the fact that people are going to challenge my credibility based on what I say, knowing what I've sacrificed, what has happened to me, what has happened to my family. And I'm not trying to play the world's smallest violin, but my sacrifice has been considerable. I have had a considerably more difficult go than almost anybody because I was willing to tell the truth before it's fashionable about Israel, about race, about globalization, about a wide variety of subjects. Ever since I was 18 years old, I have been censored. I have been financially blacklisted, had to endure financial hardship. I've been targeted. My family's been targeted. So for somebody to come and challenge my credibility or whether I'm being honest, it's totally outrageous.